You float alone in the vast emptiness of space, surrounded by nothingness. The only sound is the faint hum of the engines of your ship, the only light the distant stars twinkling in the blackness. You have been alone for what feels like an eternity, ever since the rest of humanity vanished without a trace. You try to keep yourself busy, running diagnostics on the ship, checking and rechecking your equipment, but there is only so much to do. As you stare out into the infinite void, your mind starts to play tricks on you. You start to imagine that you can hear the voices of other people, calling out to you from the darkness. But when you try to respond, all you get is silence. It's like you're the last person in the universe, doomed to drift through space forever. You find yourself staring out of the porthole, watching as the stars slide past, trying to make sense of the emptiness that surrounds you. It's like you're floating in a bubble of nothingness, cut off from everything that you ever knew. You try to imagine what it would be like to see another human being again, to have someone to talk to share your experiences with. But the thought only brings you pain, because you know it's never going to happen. As you sit there, alone with your thoughts, you start to feel a sense of despair creeping in. It's like you're adrift in a sea of darkness, with no hope of ever finding your way home. You wonder if anyone is out there, if anyone even cares that you're all alone in the universe. But you know the answer to that question already. You're the last person left, and no one is coming to save you. Days turn into weeks and weeks and weeks as you continue to drift through the emptiness of space. You find yourself becoming increasingly desperate for any sign of life, any hint that there might be someone out there who can help you. But every time you reach out, all you get is silence. It's like the rest of the universe has simply vanished, leaving you alone in a void of darkness. The longer you spend alone in space, the more your mind starts to play tricks on you. You start to see shapes and shadows in the darkness, things that shouldn't be there. You start to hear strange noises, whispers and murmurs that seem to come from nowhere. You know that it's just your imagination running wild, but it's hard to shake the feeling that you're not as alone as you think. You find yourself spending more and more time staring out into the void, hoping to catch a glimpse of something, anything that might give you some clue as to what happened to the rest of humanity. But all you see is the endless blackness of space, with no signs of life anywhere. You start to feel like you're trapped in a nightmare, like you're never going to wake up. As time drags on, you start to feel a sense of despair creeping in. It's like you're slowly losing your grip on reality, like the darkness is starting to swallow you up. You wonder if you're going to die out here, all alone in the universe, with no one to mourn your passing. But even that thought doesn't scare you as much as the thought of spending the rest of your life adrift in the emptiness of space. You find yourself lost in memories of the past. You remember your childhood, your family, your friends, all of whom are long gone. You try to hold on to those memories, to keep them alive in your mind, but they start to fade away, like the stars in the distance. You start to think about the decisions you made that led you to this point, the regrets that haunt you. You wonder if you could have done something differently, if you could have made a different choice, if you could have avoided this fate. But it's too late now, and all you can do is live with the consequences of your actions. As you continue to drift through space, you find yourself growing increasingly isolated. You try to communicate with anyone who might be out there, but all you get is silence. You start to feel like you're the last person in the universe, like there's no one else out there. Your thoughts start to turn inward, and you find yourself thinking about all the things you wish you could have done differently. You regret the times you took for granted, the opportunities you missed, the people you pushed away. You wish you could go back and do things differently, but you know that's impossible. Gradually your memories become more and more vivid. You can almost feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, hear the laughter of your loved ones, taste the food of your childhood. But those memories only make you feel more alone, more isolated. It's like you're living in a world that no longer exists, and there's no way to go back. The longer you spend alone in space, the more you start to question your own sanity. You wonder if you're imagining everything, if the memories are just a figment of your imagination. But then you remember the silence, the emptiness, the void that surrounds you, and you know that it's all too real. You start to lose track of time. You're not sure how long you've been adrift in space, but it feels like an eternity. You start to feel like time itself has lost its meaning, that the past, present, and future are all jumbled up together in your mind. You spend your days going through old files and logs, trying to piece together what happened to the rest of humanity. You find evidence of strange anomalies in space, unexplained phenomena that seem to have swallowed entire galaxies. You wonder if this is what happened to your own world, if some cosmic disaster wiped out all life in the universe. As you continue to drift through space, you start to feel like you're losing touch with reality. You have conversations with imaginary friends and family members, reliving old memories as if they were happening right now. You start to wonder if this is what insanity feels like, if this is how people lose their minds. But even in your darkest moments, you hold onto a small glimmer of hope. You tell yourself that there must be others out there, that you can't be the only survivor. You try to stay strong, to keep your spirits up, even as the loneliness and isolation threaten to consume you. But one day, as you're staring out into the endless expanse of space, you realize that you're truly alone. There's no one out there, no signs of life, no hope for rescue. It's just you and the void, forever. That realization hits you like a ton of bricks, and you feel a sense of crushing despair wash over you. You're the last person in the universe, adrift in space with no hope of ever being found. You wonder how long you can hold on, how much longer you can keep fighting against loneliness and isolation. You start to feel your body shutting down. You're finally running out of food and water, and you know that your time is running out. You start to think about all the things you wish you could have done differently, all the people you wish you could have said goodbye to. And then, in a final moment of clarity, you realize that there's nothing left to do but let go. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, letting go of all your regrets and fears. And as your consciousness fades away, you feel a sense of calm wash over you. You're no longer afraid, no longer alone. You're finally at peace. But as you slip away, you can't help but wonder what will happen to the universe now that you're gone. Will there be anyone left to remember the past, to carry on the legacy of humanity? Or will everything be forgotten, lost to the endless expanse of space? As you drift into the unknown, you start to see flashes of memories, moments from your life that you thought were long forgotten. You see the faces of your loved ones, hear their voices calling out to you. And as you approach the final moments of your existence, you feel a sense of contentment wash over you. You realize that even though you were the last person in the universe, you were never truly alone. And then, in a burst of light, everything fades away. The universe is plunged into darkness, and there's nothing left but the void. The stars and planets and galaxies all disappear, swallowed up by the emptiness of space. And with them, all memories of humanity fade away into nothingness. The universe is silent now, an empty expanse of nothingness. There's no life, no sound, no movement. It's as if the universe itself has given up, resigned to its own fate. And yet, in the darkness, there's a glimmer of hope. A faint spark of light, flickering in the emptiness. It's as if a new universe is being born, one that will carry on the legacy of the old. And in that spark of light, there's a sense of renewal, of possibility. But for you, there's nothing left. You've lived your life, experienced all the joys and sorrows that the universe had to offer. And now, as the universe fades away into nothingness, you fade away with it. But even in your final moments, you know that you've left a mark on the universe, that your existence has mattered. And so you let go, surrendering to the darkness, at peace with your own fate. You were the last person in the universe, but you will never truly be forgotten.